everybody. Good afternoon to you. How are you? You can see who is behind me taking a nap. Bulger. Hi, Bulger. It's your baby. The baby. Oh, you look like a little baby. You act like a little baby. Ow! She likes to chew on me. She like, ow! You see what I put up with? You see this? I get no respect. What you doing? That's my girl. That's why her name is Booger, because she's just a big booger. Just a big booger. You just a big booger. Just a little baby booger. Okay. Ow. Can I have my hand back? Thank you. Hi. How are you guys? So I just posted a react to Chantal's latest live. It's up now. While I was doing that, I was let know by someone on YouTube that Mr. Snowflake, the episode 4 in the docu-series that he's doing on Chantal, he released it today for everybody for free. And I would like to take a moment to say thank you to Mr. Snowflake for making the episode. And for those who don't know a lot about Chantal, maybe those of you that are Beezers, and of course, Chantal is not going to tell you many of the things that the docu-series is going to show. If you want to know why the reaction channels react to Chantal, why we say some of the things that we say, all you have to do is watch the docu-series, all of the episodes, and you will completely understand. So this latest episode from Mr. Snowflake, I was listening to it while I was waiting for my latest react to upload and process through YouTube. And I would like to give a few words of warning to those people in my audience. And they just started up a lawnmower outside, so if you hear the noise, really sorry about that. But a few words of warning about the episode that I'm going to react to. So some of the subjects covered in the episode, and the episode went for about an hour. There is talk of DV and SA. There is also talk of the unfortunate incident that happened with May. By the way, while we're here, little update about that. Just found out that apparently Natter, he has a court hearing or a court case. He goes to court on Monday. So for those of you who are wondering, will justice ever be served for May? Well, he goes to court on Monday. I don't know if that's a hearing. I don't know what's going to happen on Monday, but apparently he does have to go to court. So just little tidbit news in that regard. Going back to the docu-series. So it covers the stuff with May. There's talk of DV and SA. And also it goes into something that happened with Chantal, her going on a site called Omegle and talking to very young men that she had no business talking to, and saying some really disgusting, icky things about those men. I'm telling you guys now, and I'm preparing you so that you can be prepared. If you are watching this react and if you encounter a part of it that makes you uncomfortable, feel free to not watch the video or skip ahead or something. I completely understand. If you start to get triggered in any way, just turn it off. Always thinking about, just think about your mental health, your emotional health. I will understand if you can't watch certain parts of this, because this episode has to deal with one of the darkest times in the Foodieverse. This was the time when she was with Natter, and a lot of awful, shocking things happened during that period. Really awful things. This was the time period where Chantal was really raising the bar on herself, and not in a positive way. She was just trying to come up with the most shocking, the most upsetting, the most triggering things to expose and to talk about to up those views. And she reached a point with it all where she hit the ceiling and she couldn't go any further. Hence the reason why she decided to go the opposite way and become allegedly a Muslim woman and cover herself up, because she spent an entire year exposing all of her body, all of her body parts, doing the chemicals, acting outrageously, driving intoxicated, just really showing a really nasty, nasty, nasty dark side of herself. So, just preparing you guys. Just thought I'd let you know about that. We're going to go over a couple of very brief things on Twitter before we get started with the episode. So, let me just go ahead and pull up Twitter. Let me make sure I am where I need to be. Excuse me for just a second. One moment, please. Okay. So let me just pull that up, and then we'll get right into the docu series, the episode 4. Okay, so for anybody who wants to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. Let's start here with Foop Olympics. And this was a mukbang that she posted today. Foop Olympics says during her most recent health arc that lasted all of 2 days, she tried to pretend that the Unicity fiber drink was keeping her so full she couldn't finish a 12-inch sub. Now that we're doing daily mukbang, she's eating 2 subs at once, plus cookies and chips. Yeah, she's going full steam ahead with the mukbang content. Like, everybody knows now what kind of content she's doing and who she's doing the content for. So I guess because we all know and we're all aware and we're commenting on it, she's thinking, why hide it? Let's just, fly up the flag and see who agrees. So yeah, 2 12-inch subs. Will I be reacting to that video? Nah. I'll leave that one on the cutting room floor. There's really no reason to cover it. She eats a couple of subs. She talks about stuff from her childhood or for her work. Stories that we've heard before. Why bother? Okay, Nana Spike T says, just finished Mr. Snowflake's video. I have never tuned into the disgusting days. What a legacy Foodie Beauty is leaving behind. Never in my life have I known someone so repulsive. I had only heard of the Omegle thing, but to hear her talk about a minor in that manner, sick. So that should give you guys kind of a little bit of a clue about what's going to be in the episode, how bad it is. I do remember seeing Chantal when she was live streaming Omegle, and I remember that incident happening of a very, very young man exposing himself and Chantal freaking out, but then continuing to talk about that very, very young man in a really disgusting manner, talking about his private parts and how big they were, and he can't be that young. Oh, it's bad. It's really bad. I remember that time period was so bad, y'all, that I actually stopped reacting to Foodie. All the talk of DV and SA, I was just like, I can't take it. Not only was she talking about it, but because she was talking about it, people in her audience, people that have actually been through those things, they were sharing their stories, which snowballed, and it led to everybody else on YouTube talking about it. I mean, you just couldn't turn around without seeing it. It just became too much for me. And I'm not angry about anybody sharing their stories. It's just, when you're getting bombarded with it and you've been through it, you're like, I'm trying to move past it. So I can't have that constant exposure. So I just left for a while. I did ambiance videos. I'm not sorry I did that. I learned a lot about putting videos together and editing, and I had a lot of fun. So I had to take a break, But this episode is from one of the darkest times of Foodie Beauty. One of the darkest times. So that's it for all the stuff on Twitter. Okay, so let's get on to the actual episode, courtesy of Mr. Snowflake. And I'll be leaving a link for his original video in the video description. If you haven't seen it yet, you can subscribe to Mr. Snowflake. You can leave a comment, a like. tell him, say thank you for all the hard work that he did to put stuff together. I'm sure a lot of reaction channels and clip channels, they were giving stuff to him, but he put everything together very, very well. He does really great work. So let me just go ahead and bring up the video. And I'm telling you now, y'all, it is shocking. It is shocking. So hold on to your hats. It's shocking. Let me just get past the music. And there's Mr. Snowflake in the cow suit. I love it. I love it. Well done, Mr. Snowflake. Okay, y'all, let's do this.
When it comes to describing Foodie Beauty, insane, deluded, selfish, excellent driver though.
Not Mr. Cowdigan. Mr. Snowflake, aka Mr. Cowdigan, as opposed to cardigan. Well done, sir.
But I think the two best descriptions for Foodie are baby reindeer and single white female.
That's a heck of a combination. If single white female and baby reindeer had a baby, it would be Foodie. That's a really, really shocking combination.
And a film about two scary individuals, unhinged women. I thought I'd seen the worst of Foodie's strange behavior when it came to Red Flag Man. But compared to this episode, child's play was nothing. And the main reason for her erratic behavior being turned all the way up to 11 in this episode is her fault, obviously. Dom's fault. And it's the fault of another woman who's entered Dom's life. A woman named Dee Dee.
Every single thing this has had face this week has been my grocery bill. Do you want me to pull up bank account?
By the way, something to be added to this video. It should be known that Dee Dee started out as a beezer with Chantal. Dee Dee started out being a beezer on Chantal's channel. So the two times that Foodie has brought men onto the internet, it's always been a beezer that got between herself and the man that she was obsessed with. So the first time was Dee Dee taking Natter away from her. And now here's Salah. And who was he caught with? Kybella, another beezer. So she hates Girl World, but some of the beezers are the ones who do her the most dirty.
All right. I want the woman who's there to know that that knife that he's using that freaking turns you on with his knife skills, that's my knife. I bought it.
This Dee Dee woman, she rocks up about Christmas time. I think she's there just before Christmas, but I know she's there on Christmas Day in one of his videos. Not the best present he could have got Foodie for Christmas, though he did give her gonorrhea in the mouth once, so could have been worse. Could have been worse.
The phone is my phone. And the one he's going to probably record you naked. That's my phone. Without you knowing about it.
What's weird is, well, it's all weird, but what's weird is they had this whole backstory that they'd known each other for 10 years and he was mates with one of her exes. And it was all just to say that they were friends. They were nothing more than friends, apparently. But in reality, and there's a word we won't be using much in the Foodieverse, in reality, this woman was a fan of Foodie Beauties, and because of Foodie, the internet had been subjected to Dom, and so had this Dee Dee woman.
You have no problem eating, sleeping, and laughing with other people. You have no problem. The comforter on your bed her on. I bought that at Walmart.
And this is something that happened a lot during this time period. Foodie is a narcissist. But beyond that, she's not just a narcissist, she's an abusive person. And in my opinion, Foodie is a very weak individual who likes to fool herself into thinking that she's stronger than she actually is. She's a weak individual who is not in control of herself. So to feel in control, to have strength, she finds other people that are weaker than she is in some respect, such as her relationship with Pete. Anybody who's ever seen or heard Pete, you know that he's kind of socially awkward, very introverted, very into himself. I don't know if he has any other issues, but Chantal took full advantage of that. And he got really attached to her. The sad thing is, Foodie's been looking for loyalty and love from a man, and she already had it. She just did not value it. And once you are her man and she conquers you, she gets bored and she's looking for the next guy that has the new car smell. And once the new car smell is faded away, she's on to the next one. But going back to Foodie for a second, one of the earmarks of an abusive narcissist is kindness and love and compassion and empathy, where it would be natural for the rest of us, and we give and we don't expect anything back because it is so far removed from who she really is as a person. It is so unnatural to her that she attaches a price tag to it. Any act of kindness, any act of goodness, she's going to make you pay for it. So she puts on a false front of, I'm going to do these things for you and I'll help you. It's not about being kind and doing things for people. It's about looking for ways to control, to manipulate, and things to use as leverage to dominate the other person. So during this time period, all of us who are reactors and those who were in the audience, we heard a lot of this. Well, I did this and I bought that and I bought that pan that he's cooking out of and I bought that comforter. I mean, she named off every single thing that she chose to buy for Natter. Nobody forced her to do it. She chose to do it. And the fact that she mentions everything she did shows you just how not in kindness she did it. It was about control and power. Control and power. Control and power. She's a weak person who likes to find weaker people or people that are at some kind of disadvantage to take advantage of. And I am not sticking up for Natter. He's a scumbag too. I'm just talking about her being a controlling, manipulating freak. A selfish-hearted, selfish mind woman. An abusive woman.
What else? The iPad, the ring light, oh yeah, the ring light you're gonna use like this. Thanks for the super chat. I'm gonna let you have it tonight. You want to have fun with your friends and eat with Sin and Sharmula? I'm gonna have fun with you tonight, and then I'm gonna be done with you. Goodbye. And trust me, you're gonna me more than I need. You need me more than I need you. Like, you people are stupid. Like, people who are saying things like the people who it mind boggles me that you say you're hypocritical, because you'll say to me, actions speak louder than words. You don't see by his actions that we're together, or what? Come on now. If you're going to say you were never with me, then you use me for all those things because you accepted them no problem. And you told me you love me. I showed the text messages for that. So you're lying. Just admit it on your live stream right now. That
I think one of the main reasons why Chantal still hasn't given up on Natter has to do with her ego, her narc ego. Because narcs, they do not like to admit defeat. Whatever game they're involved in, they have to win. They don't like to lose. And she lost when it came to Natter. She did not get her way. Every tactic that she tried, every threat, everything did not work. She lost him to another woman, which has really bruised her big-sized ego. And she still wants him to this day for that reason. She also just can't get over the fact that, yes, she's a liar and a scammer, but the liar and the scammer who thought that she was at the top of her class that she was on top of her game got scammed. She got played. She just can't get over the fact that she got played.
You love me and tell everybody, or fine, I'll look crazy one last time, and then after that, you'll never see my face ever again.
I definitely began to notice the money talk more and more. I've bought this for you. I've done this for you. I paid for this. I paid for your phone. She loved that one. I paid your phone this month.
I'm turning your phone on to be nice to you and to try to talk to you. And I feel so pathetic even saying that.
But Dom didn't owe her a relationship just because she paid his phone.
Yeah, but that's how she looked at it.
Boyfriend, I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not girlfriend enough to pay your rent and give you shit.
But that's definitely how she saw it, and she would try and use that against them all the time. I did this for you, now you give me love. Oh, you didn't give me love? Right, I'm turning your phone off. But Fraudy, that's not how relationships work.
No.
At least not the healthy ones.
No. See, the problem with Chantal is that some people, when they give, they truly do give. And then other people like Chantal, they give with negative purpose. Someone like Chantal, it is better to go without than to owe someone like herself. Because once you take something from them, they'll never let you forget it. They'll always hold it over your head. They'll use it as leverage. They'll use it to verbally beat you down with it over and over and over and over and over again. You can't accept anything from a narc. Anything. I don't care if it's a piece of bubble gum. Don't take it. They're not giving you the piece of bubble gum because they're nice. They're giving you the piece of bubble gum just because they can come back later and say, I gave you a piece of bubble gum when you wanted one. How could you act that way to me? I mean, seriously, that's how they think.
Why am I not allowed at your house just to get my stuff? Like, you treat me like I was like nothing. Like I'm a piece of dirt. Like I was never anything.
As well as noticing all of the I paid for this nonsense talk, I noticed more and more talk of Fraudy saying, "Oh, I've left this at Dom's house. I'm gonna have to go get it. Oh, I hate him. I'm never seeing him again. I can't stand the guy. Oh, I've left my handkerchief at Dom's house. I'm gonna have to go and get it." But we knew why she wanted to go around this time. We knew why she was going back.
And you're saying she's not sleeping there, but she just magically appears every time she smells your food cooking out of nowhere. Express, no. And Dee Dee, you look like a loser. Like, how fun of a trip is that for you to come all the way in a blizzard just for a friend?
You know, this game that Chantal plays with leaving her stuff at a man's house. This is a game that she's been playing for years. Even before Natter, she was playing that game. There was a piece of video or a live that she did where she said something really icky and really creepy. She said, I just have to get into his house. Can you imagine a man saying that about a woman? And just because it's a woman saying that about a man doesn't make it any less creepy. Chantal's a predator. Always has been. Even back in her teenage years, there were issues. Like I heard stories about her stalking 2 teenage boys to the point where the father came out of the house and told her if she didn't go home, he was going to call the cops. And there was another incident where she hid in a man's bedroom, waiting for him to get home. I mean, something's not right with her. She's always been obsessive and stalky that way. But she likes to play that, leave her stuff at a man's house just so she has a reason and a way to bother that man. I mean, going back in time a little bit, she was with BB. They broke up. She did not take all of her stuff out of his house. She left a lot of her stuff there on purpose. There was a lot of her stuff still there a year later. When she got with Natter, there was an occasion where she went to BB's house just to make Natter jealous. Even though BB did not want anything to do with Chantal, he wasn't looking to get with her in any way. She purposely went over to BB's place and live streamed it, just trying to make Natter jealous. Chantal likes to triangulate between men. She likes the idea of men fighting over her. Even though BB wasn't fighting over her, she liked to throw BB in Natter's face, just trying to force a response out of him and get some kind of validation that he loved her, even though he never did. But just trying to poke at him to get some kind of response. So she says within herself, oh, he loves me. He responded this way. He loves me. No, you're aggravating him. And making him angry is not going to make him love you, but tell her that. But going back to Crackhead Olympics at Natter's place, she left a lot of stuff at Natter's place. And there were many occasions where she would say, I'm going to go get my stuff. I'm going to go get my stuff. She really didn't want her stuff. There were a few occasions where Natter said, come and get your stuff, and then you can go. She didn't want the stuff. She didn't care about the stuff. She was making all kinds of money back then. Whatever was over there, she could have replaced it. No problem. She just wanted access to his house, to walk inside, to spend time with him, to see if there were other women there. She used the fact that there was stuff there as a means to control. Predator.
Nothing was going to stop her from going around audience, Dom, DD, common sense. Nothing was going to stop her getting over there, getting in that house.
So I just go and bang on the door and like get my stuff. No, I'm not going to leave alone until I get my stuff. I need my medical device.
Yeah, screw your medical device, and I'll tell you why. Because you have 2 CPAP machines, 2 of them. So it wasn't as if you had a medical emergency and you needed a CPAP machine. You just wanted a reason to go over there, Chantal, and you were using your CPAP machine as a reason. You really didn't want it. You really didn't need it. There were many nights that you would go over to Natter's place and not take your CPAP. Even though that's dangerous and stupid, you still went over there and you went to sleep without it on. So you're just trying to find any way and any reason to get at him.
How do you shut off the iPad? Ooh, I can disable the device from remotely.
See, this is proof right here. So she bought Natter an iPad. And now she's like, oh, I can shut it off. Just as she paid for the phone bill. So whenever she was mad at him, she could shut the phone off. Giving a gift with strings attached. I paid for it. And if you make me angry, I'm going to shut off the phone. I'm going to shut off the iPad. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. Y'all see how this works? Narcs never give a gift the way that other people do. There's always strings attached. There's always a hidden price tag. And she's one of those people. Never accept money or gifts or anything or borrow anything off somebody like this, because then they'll become a living nightmare.
You're right.
While I was watching this play out, I was thinking, she's not just addicted to Dom. She's addicted to, and I know I'm late to the party as always, but she's addicted to the drama.
Yeah.
She absolutely loves it. She's playing up to the camera. All the attention, it's on her, and she loves it.
Not only that, but Chantal also made the comment long ago. She said she doesn't like nice guys. Nice guys are boring. She loves the drama. She said that outright. I love the drama. She likes the fighting. She likes the drama. And Natter is a bit hot-headed, so he would go back and forth with her. She really feeds off of that.
I think a more sensible person probably wouldn't shut off Dom's iPad and end his live stream. Foodie is the type of person to pretend she desperately needs this CPAP machine to help her breathe.
I mean, to be fair, CPAPs are really good.
She needs it or she's going to die. She has to have it now or she's going to drop dead tonight. Or lay dead.
Well, I disabled the iPad. Like, he might still be able to use it, though. Like, with his Wi-Fi. I don't know how they would disable it remotely. And if you're with somebody, you're supposed to ask. He doesn't care. Like, he doesn't, like, the same thing with May. Didn't ask me about that. You just go to a hotel room and meet another person.
I know Foodie Beauty has said our reaction channels and their armchair psychology Sorry, I went a bit sexy there. They're armchair psychology. But I don't think you need to be a psychologist to realize that she just loves it. She's living for the drama.
Yeah, you know what? Before we get into the next segment, I just want to add this in. Like, this whole time period was crazy. Anybody that wasn't there for it, it was a roller coaster ride from hell. And the rails were just going into darker and darker places. It was nuts. Wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Foodie's already done 2 live streams that I got to go through. Get through those. There's 2 more after that. I mean, it just kept going until 2 in the morning. It was nuts. And this went on every day. It was crazy. That's not even counting the dirty deleted stuff. That she would just rage and do stuff, and then she would delete it, and somebody somewhere had it. Just trying to keep up with her. It was like nobody slept. Nobody slept. I mean, she and Nader were doing the Coca-Cola, so they had energy for days. They could go for days, but those of us that didn't do the party favors, we were just like, man, I don't have enough coffee for this. I can't do, I'm tired. You know, it was just that bad. But her and Nader were so bad, they would literally tag team their live streams. They would almost fight over who was going to go live. He would go live, and then she would go live. And then after she was done, he would go live. They would go back and forth. And sometimes they didn't want to wait on each other, and they would go live at the same time. It was nuts trying to keep up with it all.
You better give me my back. I'm not coming out for nothing.
All day she's been ranting about this CPAP, about how she needs this CPAP to live, about how she could die in her sleep without this CPAP.
Zachary Michaels.
How many nights have you gone without this CPAP machine, Chantal? And now you want to go because Dee Dee Mega Doodoo's over there and you want to get your CPAP machine all of a sudden? Now, all of a sudden, it's a big-ass deal for you?
Not ever like giving me the love I need.
Oh,
I give you so much. I give you so much.
You can't buy love.
Thank you.
You have another woman there having wine, you stupid goner filled piece of giraffe looking.
Go in and talk to them. Oh, I think he's calling me. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna go to the door.
Okay. Before we go any further, I want to point something out. This is important, which is why I'm stopping. Keep in mind, during this particular period of time, this crackhead Olympics, Nader Chantal arc, very early on, Chantal was telling all of us Nader was hurting her physically. She claimed violence. She claimed that he hit her so hard she saw stars. She claimed that he stopped her from leaving the house. She would come on camera with bruises on her chest, and yet she would show off the bruises. She wasn't hiding them. She basically painted this picture of he's an abusive person and I'm scared of him, yada, yada, yada. I bring in all of this up now because you guys are going to see something right here that for someone who's really been through DV or SA, if you've been through it, you would never, ever, ever do this with a person who is guilty of that hurt against you. You would never, ever get in their face and prod at them and poke at them and provoke them. And she's about to do that with no fear. No fear whatsoever. Getting in his face and screaming. Which is one of the reasons why I call her a fake, phony victim. Because those of us that have been through, we stay away from those that have hurt us. We get as far out of town as we can. We'll move to another state if we have to. We don't even want to hear that person's name. Yet she made a bunch of claims against Nader, and look what she's about to do. Does this woman look afraid of this man? She's over there giggling. It's funny to her. It is so freaking funny. So funny.
Yo, can I get my stuff? Okay, well, let me in then.
Like, this is not the face of a woman who's afraid of a man. This is not the face of a woman, to me, that has been hurt by a man, is afraid of him, is afraid of his temper. No fear. None. You're a fraud, Chantal.
I just want my stuff.
Where's my video?
Video. Yo. I want my stuff.
That's annoying here.
I want my
That's
stuff.
needs to stop.
Call the cops then.
Huh?
Call the cops.
Call the cops?
Yeah, I want my stuff.
I don't call cops.
I will. I want my stuff.
Cool.
Let me get my. What's your problem?
You want to call the cops?
I want-
Go.
I want my.
Go. 911.
For real?
911. Hurry. They're gonna give me the stuff right away.
Give me my stuff.
What?
I want to. I'm here to get. You said I can't.
Nobody's gonna give it to you.
You said.
And meanwhile, something else of note. So she decided that she's just going to drive over there on her own. She did not call Natter and say, I would like to get my stuff. Is it all right if I drop by and get my stuff? I mean, she's at her house. He's at his house. Even if your stuff is at somebody else's home, it's courteous and it's respectful to call ahead, especially in the middle of the night, and say, hey, is it all right if I come over and hang out or get my stuff? No, she just drove herself over there, and she's expecting as soon as she shows up that he's going to let her in and not tell her no. She really did not want her stuff, y'all. She just wanted to walk through the place and make sure that Dee Dee wasn't there. If Natter was not having a good time with her, then she was going to interrupt whatever might have been going on with that Natter and Dee Dee. Her objective was to ruin their good time. If she's not having a good time with him, then nobody's going to have a good time with him.
Said I can come get my stuff. You said I can come get my stuff. So go let me get my.
See? This fake phony victim yelling and screaming in his face after all the things she told us about him. Real victims would never, ever.
Where's my video?
What video?
I need my live stream.
I didn't delete live stream, but when I turn the phone off, it's like.
And that little part that he just mentioned, he was angry at Chantal because her being the control freak manipulator that she is, she created the channel for him, and she did it not, again, out of the kindness of her heart, but because she wanted full control over the channel and him. And let's go even further. The channel that she created for him was also linked to her channel. And why did she do that? Couple of reasons. Reason number one, because if that channel were linked to her channel and her account, it'd be monetized faster. Reason number two, because if it were also linked to her Google AdSense account, she could control the money. The money would go directly to her, and that's why Natter had to wait for the entire month to get paid. That's why he always had to wait on Chantal and her money, because the money from the Natter El Shami channel went directly to her. He did not get it. She made sure of that he did not have his own Google AdSense account and his own money. She wanted to control him. She wanted to control the channel. She wanted to control the money.
Do you want to also disable the device? And I say yes. I just want my CPAP machine.
Talk with these people. You need to sit down by yourself. See what you're doing. Think about it.
While you have wine with somebody?
God, Fraudy, just stop. Go home, have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Sit down. Just stop.
Yep.
It's too much. I mean, to be fair, he should have just given her the CPAP machine, and she would have went away. Well, maybe, and she might have went away. But again, he was joining in on the imaginary game. I was going to say chess, checkers.
Someone helps you build your house, you kick them out?
Get in my house.
And
No,
ignore
I rent
them?
this place.
Mm.
It's what I rent. I
Yeah.
knew the engineer was here who built this place.
And by the way, Foodie, if you were ever wondering why Natter did not choose you, why he chose Dee Dee, I talked about it before in a previous react. It's about stability. I mean, Natter's a scumbag, will always be a scumbag in my eyes, but he knew where his bread was buttered. He was looking for stability, something he could count on. So Dee Dee had the condo, and she's not going to fly off the handle, unhinged and half-cocked when she gets mad. No, that's you. You are all kinds of unstable. And you cannot count on something or someone that is unstable and volatile and blows up. You showed all of your ugly sides. You showed how unhinged you are and the lengths that you'll go to when you get angry. And that's something I'm sure influenced his decision to stay with Dee Dee.
No, but I help you pay for it.
You for what?
Let me get.
I assumed that Dom must have lived like 10 minutes away from her. The amount of time she would go over. 45 minutes? 45 minutes there. And 45 minutes back? I couldn't be asked. But then again, I don't have her motivation for pettiness. Anyway, she was getting nowhere. He wasn't going to give her a back.
And that's another important point. I did not know that it took 45 minutes for her to go to Dom's place and then back again. But that's an interesting note. This woman who swears that Natter caused her all kinds of harm. She had her own home. She had her own money. She had a car. Natter never had a car. The only time he ever went to the villa was on a rare occasion, and he took an Uber, but he could not readily travel to Chantal. So 99.99% of the time that Chantal saw Natter, she would go to his house. Even after these said allegations where she went to the cops, she was still continuing to sneak over there. As a matter of fact, she took a trip and she passed through New York and she was coming back, and she confessed that after the allegations, she went to his house with green products and coffee and expected to be let in. That's how unhinged and stupid she is. So where a lot of people who've been through DV, they're in a situation where they have no safe place to go. They have no money. They have no resources. If anything hurtful happened to Chantal, she could have stayed away, blocked his number, stopped giving him money. That's the end of that. She was the one who kept it going when she didn't have to.
So she got back in her car, drove around for a while, egged the audience on to call the police. I was watching it and I was thinking, why doesn't she just call the police? And then she knows it's been done. And then it hit me, much like Fraudy hitting a bunch of animals in her car. She wanted the police called to get her stuff to win this game of Imaginary Connect 4. But she didn't want to do it herself, because if she did it herself, there's a big chance this off and on nonsense thing they had would just be off.
Right. Like she's the queen of wasn't me. Haven't I said that? She is the queen of it wasn't me. My hands were not involved in this. I did not do it. She's always using other people to do her dirty work, to claim innocence when she's not innocent at all. So she fired up her own audience and they called. And that way, when Natter got mad at her, she could fire back with, well, I didn't do it. My audience did it.
What, you didn't think I was going to call the cops? I didn't actually. Somebody else did. But that's what you get.
So somebody did call the cops and Fraudy didn't have to do it. It's quite smart of her. Oh no, I'm just giving Fraudy Beauty a compliment. Oh no, I've become everything I hate.
I just proved that you're a liar. You lied. You said I can have it. And you don't give it back to me. There's the police.
Look at the smile on her face. There's the police. Using the legal system, using the justice system for the sake of control and power over Natter. Not because she truly needs justice, not because of anything criminal. It's just she wants to win.
I don't want to go in the house. Hi. Hi. Hold on, guys.
The cops enter Dom's place. He's still streaming, but he moves the camera. And he thinks he mutes it, but he doesn't, because he's dead smart. He's going to strike me for that now, because he's dead smart. So you hear everything. He gives his phone number away. For once, it wasn't Foodie doxing somebody. But the best thing for me was when the cops said to him, so you've had an argument with your ex. And he said, she's not my ex. She's just a friend. Like even to the cops being live streamed, Foodie's just embarrassed once again. I'm starting to like Dom now. Oh no, me and Dom are going to become best friends. No, that would be utterly ridiculous. And the dislike button is just down there. Anyway, a long, horrible, ridiculous story short. The cops managed to get the CPAP back to Foodie. So this horrible, horrible night was over.
The coward didn't give me, the cops bring me the machine in a bag. No power cord, no mask. This piece of crap knows I need that. Now I don't have a machine because he doesn't give a die in my sleep.
And again, Foodie has 2 CPAP machines. She had one at home and one over at Natters. She didn't necessarily need the CPAP machine over at Natters. And if the CPAP machine was so important, why leave it over there to begin with? That's not something you leave at somebody's house. It's not like a spare toothbrush or a hairbrush. That's a medical device. Why wouldn't you take it home with you?
So if I die in my sleep, the blood's on your hands.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Something like that would normally be the end of one of these episodes, the big drama. But it just shows how crazy things are getting. That's our opener. The relationship between Dom and Foodie is it was just so drama filled.
Yeah.
Last episode, that's all it was. It was just Foodie and Dom. There was no room for any side characters. I forgot there were side characters. Pete's.
Mm-hmm.
Pete's is really an important character. I didn't even get to Pete's last episode, which is a shame because I really like Pete's. He's a really fun character.
Katie Marie, just off. Go, Katie Marie.
You know what, Mr. Snowflake? I was okay with Pete's in the beginning. Because the side characters, the walk-on players of the Foodie game, you don't know them at first. You can't really gauge them fully at first until you start hearing from them and seeing them more, sir. So really did not know what to make of Pete's, because we barely saw him. We barely heard of him. First impression of Pete's is he's just some guy that has fallen under Chantal's spell. And he's harmless. And he's got some issues, of course. Everybody has issues, just different ones. But didn't know really what to make of Pete's. I always perceived him as a really introverted guy. Really too much into his shell. And then I started to find things out. Like he had written grape fiction. Okay. So that happened. He does have a really explosive temper. Really explosive. I also found out that he did have a cat named Timbit that had, I believe it was feline leukemia. He had Timbit when he moved into the villa with Chantal. Because the cat had feline leukemia, Chantal could have taken her other 2 cats to get vaccinated so that Timbit could have wandered about the house. She never did. And to make matters worse, if Chantal had been a caring individual, what she could have done was the bedroom that she was in with the balcony, she could have given that to Pete's and said, here, you take this bedroom, and that way little Timbit can go out on the balcony and sun herself and get some fresh air since she can't leave your bedroom. And she didn't do that. She took the room with the balcony, even though she hardly used the freaking balcony. So little Timbit stayed in Pete's disgusting, dirty, filthy bedroom Pete's didn't even have proper dishes to feed Timbit. There was one video clip where Timbit was eating off a piece of cardboard. And I also saw pictures of Timbit on Twitter where it looked like some of her nails were embedded in her foot pads, much like BBJ's had been. So little Timbit did not make it out of that bedroom alive, which is really, really sad. I don't know if anything could have been done for her, but unfortunately, she just passed away. So knowing all of that about Pete, I don't like him. And I especially don't like the way he treated little BBJ. We all know now that during that time period, she was sick. She was suffering kidney issues, UTI, mats in her fur, dirty ears, rotted teeth. And there was Pete being absolutely cruel to BBJ, grabbing onto her face and saying no mercy. He's still harboring some anger over Chantal being with BB and the fact that Chantal changed BBJ's name from Casey to BBJ. He doesn't have the courage to go up to Chantal and tell her of that anger. He's going to take it out on an animal. So I don't like Pete. I think he's a scumbag too. For the way he treated BBJ, for the neglect of Timbit, for the great fantasy fiction. So he's not a good guy, period.
One more comment and I'm just blocking you, okay? Last chance. Like one chance here. Shut the up or I'm just going to straight up blocking you. Because you're and you're getting on my nerves. You have nothing worthwhile to say. So shut the up or I shut you up. Yeah, Katie Marie, just go the way. Stay off my channel. Never come back. You're a idiot. You're an asshole. You're a prick who's just trying to up. So just you stupid. Stop it. Like just controls. Just off.
Yeah, Pete's had started his own YouTube channel. And I thought, oh, Pete's YouTube channel. That's going to be fun and exciting and a lovely watch. And it wasn't.
So my depression has been getting worse and worse. I spent the last 2 days in bed. Barely got out of bed, like, at all. And even when I did, it was only for a couple hours.
Not having to go at the guy for being depressed, that's obviously not nice. But a lot of his channel was Pete's just unhappy and angry, and he just didn't seem to enjoy being a YouTuber.
I can't get the battery compartment open. Listen to what I say. I cannot get the battery compartment open. Where it is, the way it is set up, the way it is wired, the compartment is inaccessible. It is
Accessible. So telling me to just change the battery, I literally can't. See?
Oh, God. This part's going to upset y'all. So brace yourselves.
Fine. She's still alive.
Pete, I want to have a talk with you in Minecraft. Immediately.
See? Look at her. Happy? Are you satisfied? Can you shut the about her now?
I don't know if we're going to spend any more time on Pete's in the next few episodes. If we do, it's going to be minimal, I guess. Might be nothing, so I'll say it now. I had a look at his YouTube channel now, in the present time. Barely anybody watching. People just trying to get a reaction from Pete's, and he gives them it almost every time.
Thanks for making it impossible for me to have a good time.
You know, Pete's is just one in a long line of many guys that entered the Foodieverse, that attached themselves to Foodie, And because of knowing Foodie, being around her in real life, they went on to make their own channels. And because of Chantal talking about them or mentioning them, because of her, they got exposure for their channels and they got an audience. So they got an audience and they got the exposure, but there was nothing of substance to keep people around. That happened with Pete's. That happened with Roman L. Roman. That happened with Natter. That's happening with Salah. I mean, every single male that comes across Foodie, not a single one of them has been able to grab the brass ring and run away with it. You know what I mean? They enter into the Foodieverse, they're known for 5 minutes, and then they disappear.
It was just a bit of a sad channel, which is a shame because Pete was the fun character in the Foodieverse, wasn't he? He was the comic relief, the Jar Jar Binks of the foodie world.
They have started recording a Let's Play of Mass Effect 2.
There's Chantal walking around in her underwear. So for those who are wondering what was going on before this part right here, let me fill in the blanks for you. So Chantal was in her living room sitting on her couch. And she was just sitting there singing, and she knew she was going to mess her pants. She literally sat on her couch and messed her pants. She didn't just get up and go straight to the bathroom before that happened. She sat and basically sharded in her pants. And then she went running off to the bathroom, giggling like a maniac. So that's what was happening before. She went to the bathroom because of the camera panning around to catch her. You saw her come out of the bathroom, take her nasty, disgusting pants and put them on the counter. And now she's walking back in her underwear, thinking that nobody can see her. And then she realizes the camera's about to catch sight of her. And then she's going to tell Pete to pull the camera somewhere else.
Hey,
2 episodes into it.
can you turn the camera? Jeez.
But that was something that Chantal did frequently. Even though she and Pete were once a couple for many years, they were once engaged. But when they moved into the villa, they were just friends. Chantal would often walk around the villa with no pants on. Just naked from the waist down. She would walk around looking like that in front of Pete's.
God.
Well, I wasn't going to sit in your spot on the couch. Jeez. Did you smell what came out of your ass?
Pete's, I think, for me, is sadly in the lol cow category now.
All right, this is already an absolute show. I'm fed up. I'm done already.
Even though I think he's a bit of a lol cow, I still didn't like when Dom would come on camera and he'd be saying all this horrible stuff about Pete right next to Foodie, and Foodie wouldn't say a thing, wouldn't stick up for Pete.
No, of course she wouldn't, Mr. Snowflake, and I'll tell you why. It has to do with triangulation. Again, Chantal likes to have men fighting over her. So she would go to Natter, talk all kinds of trash about Pete's to Natter, and then she would go home to Pete's and talk all kinds of trash about Natter to Pete's. And in essence, having 2 men fighting over her and hating each other. And she loved it. She loved the feeling of men fighting over her. I remember the live streams that she would do. She would go to a park and she talked about Pete's and talking about getting rid of Pete's and getting rid of the cats. And, oh, I'll just get him a room somewhere and it'll be so good for him. And I wished I lived alone. I wish I could just come back with a guy and do something with him not there. I mean, she was really out of pocket. Really out of pocket. She was happy to move into the villa with Pete's because Pete's name was on the dotted line and that's how she got there. But then once she got into the villa, she had the attitude of, what's he doing here? I wish he weren't here. Even though without him, she wouldn't have gotten in there in the first place. But always trying to instigate men to fight over her.
You think me being like, hey, I don't think you should talk badly about Pete's is going to go over too well? I'm trying to keep the peace.
You want to keep the peace and keep your mouth shut. How about that? You don't have to talk about your friend, roommate to another guy? Who is he? He's not your fiance, not your husband. He's just some guy you're seeing that you get party favors from and you're sleeping around with. He ain't got to know all that.
So I say nothing.
Pete's is as loyal to Foodie as anyone can be
Yeah.
to anyone else. Even when Pete's made that video saying, guys, I'm depressed, Foodie couldn't care less.
No.
That doesn't happen. And I can't cure his depression, guys. Okay? It's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen in one day. So I'm very depressed myself. I said, I'm here for you anytime. I have.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not making fun of depression or anybody that truly, honestly, sincerely suffers from it. Depression is a very, very real thing. Pete's, I feel, really suffered with depression. Really suffered with it. Chantal, her depression was selective. Really selective. You know, she would say, I'm depressed and just down in the dumps. She would essentially be sulking at home, waiting for Natter to make that phone call to tell her that she could come over. She would lay in bed, sulking and pouting, and then he would make the phone call. Next thing you know, she's up and out of bed, putting on her makeup, putting on her perfume, packing away her lingerie, and out the door she goes. I can't think of a single person who suffers from depression that can do that. Just snap right out of it. But this night that's happening right here, right now in the video piece, like Pete's did a video where he talked about like being seriously, seriously depressed. And it got people so concerned that they were going to Chantal in her live stream and saying, Chantal, this is your friend. You need to be there for him. But Chantal was dead set on spending time with Natter and very angry that people were telling her, you need to go home and take care of your friend. She's very offended about that because she didn't want to. She wanted to be next to Natter so that she knew that Natter wasn't being with other women.
My phone on. I can't. I mean, what I'm talking about. Expect what? That I would go spend the whole day with my depressed friend? You're predictable too. I don't know, Sabrina. I don't know. Like, I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know. Like, you guys know I can't even go to my own therapy and lay out my own life plan. And you want me to do this for somebody else? Like, I'm sorry, but like, it's too much. It's too much. It is. It's not.
You know, even if Chantal had gone back to the villa to be with Pete's, I guarantee you, I know how it would have gone. If she had caved under the pressure of the chat telling her to go be with Pete's, she would have gone home with all kinds of bad attitude, walked in the door, huffing and puffing and stomping her feet, giving Pete's the stare of death, like just stare at a hole through him, and thinking the entire time, I'm here doing nothing where it's boring, and I can be with Natter. Just mad about it. Bringing all kinds of bad energy into the house. She really wouldn't have been that much help to Pete's. She probably would have made him feel worse.
Like, oh, I just can't even deal. What do you want me to do? Go and cuddle in bed with him? I'm going to spend the night with my boyfriend.
He wasn't your boyfriend.
Pete admits he's depressed, and straight away, she goes over to Dom's house, 45 minutes away, and if he wanted to call her, she's always beezing. Fraudy, I'm really depressed. What do you want to say, Fraudy? What do you... Chantal, I'm really depressed. Oh, I've got to go see me non-boyfriend and not speak to you all night. Don't top yourself, though, eh, mate? Some friend.
I am a very good friend to Pete's, and I'm not going to let people friggin' shame me for that. Sorry.
So Pete's was depressed. Fraudy was depressed around this time. She was always talking about mental health struggles. Obviously, her being off and on with Dom and just him being in her life was the main factor to her mental health problems. And I still don't know if this next bit you're going to see, Was this Dom? Was this mental health? Or was this something else? You decide.
Other way, like this. And this, ladies, we are now at a stage where the curtains match the drapes. I have a weird hairline. I think I'm getting the hang of it now. No more hair fibers. Do you know how much that makes me happy?
Okay, I'm going to offer up something, my thoughts on this whole thing of her shaving her head. Now, going back in time a bit, before Chantal shaved her head, she was using more and more of the hair fibers because more and more areas of her head, she was losing her hair. So she would use the hair soot, which got everywhere because she was using a lot of it. But here's just an interesting theory to throw on the table. During this time period, Chantal was trying to live out this weird, insane Anastasia Steele, Christian Grey type situation with Natter. You know, wanting Natter to be her dom. And she wanted to be claimed by him. Here's my theory. I think it's a possibility that she shaved her head because she just got tired of the hair soot and it just made sense to shave it all off. That could be a very strong possibility. That could be going on here. But here's another theory to add to that. Maybe because she was so eager to be claimed by Natter, with all of her insane behavior, with her acting completely out of pocket, there also might be the possibility that her shaving her head was also a punishment imposed by Natter. Like if in order for her to say her sorry, to prove that she was sorry, to be accepted by Natter, she had to shave her head. So she did it. Just a theory. I could be way off. I could be reaching here. But I've seriously wondered in the past if her shaving her head was Natter saying, you're completely out of pocket. You've done too much. If you want to make it up to me, if you want to say you're sorry, you have to show you're really sorry by doing this extreme act. Because most women, the shaving of the head would be humiliating. It would be a lot to take in. It'd be a lot to do. So maybe that's the reason why she did shave her head, along with the pattern baldness.
So I shaved my head. It feels awesome. It feels free. Like, what would you like? Rub my head. So let's get all glammed up. Naturally. This is amazing. I can't believe I didn't do this before. Honestly, it's a bit hard right now, today. Like at one point, I didn't even know what the hell I'm going to do with myself. You know when you're so depressed? What are we going to have for supper, guys? Start thinking. I'm getting hungry.
She mentioned being depressed there, but I know she always struggled with her hair being thin and not growing in properly. I don't know. She was always acting like she was going through a breakup with Tom, and now that Dee Dee had entered the picture, I must have felt like she was definitely going through a breakup. What do you do when you go through a breakup? You change your hair. Fraudy did that. Get a tattoo. Fraudy did that. So it probably did feel like she was going through a breakup. It was nice that her fans. It's baffling that she had fans left at this point, but a lot of the audience weren't mocking her for shaving her head. They were on her side. That was.
You know, Mr. Snowflake, I would say it wasn't because of her going through a breakup, because you can't really break up with somebody you were never truly with. But what I will say, sir, is her just doing different things because she wasn't getting her way. Like all of her manipulative behavior and tactics, her power plays, her tug of war with Natter just wasn't working out. And her just responding to all of the failed attempts.
It was quite nice, I guess. I didn't want anyone to be cruel unnecessarily.
I'm actually like surprised everyone likes it so much. It's weird for me.
If she did shave her head because she was having a moment, I understand it. I definitely understand it. I'm empathizing with Fraudy Beauty. Get it off. But I could see why she would be having a moment. She loved Dom And it was this time he was coming into live streams, mocking her, wearing her clothes, showing a big crusty underwear.
Ew! God, I remember that. Oh, that was so horrible. I'm getting that off my screen right now.
So I totally get it if she was feeling a bit off that.
Of course, and he's gonna come on and gaslight. Just watch. Gaslight, call me a whore, make fun of me, put on my underwear, show my crusty underwear.
Big question. Why were they crusty to begin with? You gross, disgusting, feral woman. That's so nasty. What is wrong with you? Where is your sense of hygiene? Ew.
But I'm just telling you, that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to destroy me. He can't control me anymore. So now what he's going to do is try to control how others look at me. And because I'm a strong woman and not taking a shit anymore, he's going to probably try to come after me somehow.
And joking aside, I actually thought she suited the bald head. It doesn't mean I love you, Foodie. Don't DM me. Okay, DM me. Foodie and Dom weren't getting along. They were never getting along, but they were especially not getting along at this point in the timeline. And they were always threatening each other with various things.
You have no respect for women. That's all you're showing. You're disgusting. And Dee Dee, how you can support that at your age, you're disgusting. After everything you've heard him put me through, you're going to defend him and putting a cigarette out on me. And
Foodie, that is such a lie. He did not put a cigarette out on you. Where are the scars? If somebody puts a cigarette out on you, there should be a scar because that's a burn. You're lying there. See, she's saying in this clip, he put a cigarette out on me, and then the story changed later to he flicked a cigarette at me. See, that's two different stories, y'all. There is a big doggone difference in somebody flicking a cigarette at you and then putting a cigarette out on you. She could never keep her story straight. This is where I get the most mad at this biatch. Because she's a liar. Lying about DV. Acting like a victim when she never was. Claim to be a victim when really she's the one who's the predator. Looking for prey. And no, I don't like Natter. He's a scumbag. I think it's appropriate that you had two scumbags, two scumbuckets come together. Let it happen. They can be with each other and stay away from decent people. I think it's hilarious that they underestimated each other. He looked at her and said, she's just some big, dumb, fat broad who's thirsty for love. I could run circles around her. And she looked at him and thought, oh, he's just some skinny, stupid crackhead. I could run circles around him. And boy, did they find out how wrong they were. And the fireworks ensued. She thought for sure she can get control of Natter, and it never worked. He took every single one of her weaknesses and worked them against her, including her insecurity and jealousy. When he found out that she was insecure and jealous, he brought Dee Dee down, and Chantal got so foamy at the mouth to get Dee Dee away from him, she would offer up more money. He played you against yourself, Chantal, and you fell for it. And I love that the most for you.
punch face, him hitting me in the face, him grabbing my face.
Fuck you, bitch. He never did that. Never happened. I was there. I didn't see any bruises on your face. You've got very pale skin. If he had hit you in the face, there would have been bruises. You would have had a black eye. Didn't see any. And in the beginning, you had bruises on your chest and you were bragging about them. So what are you talking about? What do you mean? Liar. And we just saw the clip a little while ago. He did all these things to you, right? But you went over to his house, knocking on his door, screaming in his face, no fear. See, I love the fact that you tell on yourself. Telling a story is not the same as actually having the experience. If you have the experience, You have the knowledge and the experience. If you're telling a story, you don't have the knowledge of the experience. So you're just doing that impromptu stuff. Doesn't exactly match the real thing.
Him hiding my keys, him basically kidnapping. And I don't mind telling your probation officer that either. I don't mind.
I hate the fact that she used DV as a weapon to threaten, to intimidate, to bully, to extort. That's not what it's about. But that's how she approached it, and that's how she used it.
I want you gone from my life, and I don't want you to hurt other women. I'm done with you. I know you think it's a game and you think it's funny. Honey,
she didn't care about other women. If she cared about other women, she would not have brought them to YouTube to begin with. How can you be a woman and go through those things and then say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to create an entire YouTube channel for this dude where he'll have exposure to other women. He'll talk to other women. How could you do that with a clear conscience? You really, really can't. Why would you want to expose other women to that kind of evil? Well, she chose to do it, and she lost Natter to Dee.
It's not.
Fraudy going to Dom's parole officer had nothing to do with her protecting other women.
Nope. It was all about control, manipulation, blackmail, threats. It was her getting her way or trying to get her way using threats of intimidation.
It was all just a game for her.
Yeah.
And if you think it wasn't, give us a minute. Definitely was.
You're going to go and take action against me for what? I didn't delete your stupid video. And yes, people who are saying, well, now she only wants to contact the police now because she's mad. Well, yeah, two can play this game.
Boom! There it is. People are saying that that she wants to contact the police because she's mad. And she just admitted, yeah, that's the reason. Not because she wants justice, not because she's afraid of Natter, because she said, oh, two can play this game. So it's a game for her. Fuck you, Fraudy. Fuck you.
And I'm good at playing games, so...
I know you think it's a game and you think it's funny. Honey, it's not.
He's on his way to the courthouse. If he really is, I'm going to the police station right now.
And that's exactly why she wanted to go. So a little bit of context for those who were not there. Natter's an idiot. He posted on his channel that he was going to go down to the courthouse to get a restraining order against Chantal. What he should have done was kept his mouth shut and then just proceeded to get the restraining order on her. And then after it's over, then let everybody know. But he chose to expose it right away. So, of course, people on Chantal's channel told her what was going on. And she decided, you know what? Before you get to the police, I'm going to get to them. And I'm going to throw some allegations down about you. Now, I was there that day. And this is what I saw. I saw the chat gassing her up, putting the battery in her back. I saw her drive somewhere and park. She parked. She kept her camera on inside the car. She left the car for a period of time and she came back. But we did not see any confirmation that she was absolutely inside of a police station talking to a police officer. For all that we knew, she could have just walked right next to the car, sat down on a bench and played on her phone or something and waited and then gotten back in the car and acted like she did go talk to the cops. You know, just trying to scare Natter. The whole purpose of her doing that, in my opinion, was she was so foaming at the mouth to get Dee Dee out of Natter's place, because Dee Dee had been staying with Natter for over a month. And the longer she stayed there, the more that Chantal was frenzied for her Natter fix. She was trying to find a way to scare Dee Dee to go home so that Natter would be alone and she could finally go over there and get inside of his house. She didn't know what else to do. And she was pulling out all the stops.
I'm going to go to his probation officer's office, taking action. So am I. I'm driving to your probation officer right now. On the way to got to know. On the way.
And she claimed to love this dude. What kind of love is this? that you're going to make threats against a person. You're going to bring their parole officer into it. You're practically blackmailing them, extorting them to get your way. What kind of love is this, Chantal?
Data got to know. Going to the PO office right now. You and Dee Dee better run and catch up with me. Uh-oh. Getting with the wrong one, pal. All right, I'm at the police station.
Okay, see, you guys, there's a police office right there. See? You can see it directly behind Chantal. You can see her parking. She gets out of the car. But she does not take the phone inside the police station where we can see her talking to people. So anything could have popped off. Anything.
Vista Police!
I believe the SA stuff from Fraudy. When she tells us that, I 100%.
I don't believe it, Mr. Snowflake. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I don't. A lot of things she says do not make sense to me. They don't add up. I don't believe her DV or SA claims. Not about Natter.
That's Fraudy, isn't it? I 99%, let's say that, believe the SA stuff. I could be wrong. It's all alleged. Don't strike me. Give us a minute. So if it is real, if the SA stuff is...
Again, I respectfully, Mr. Snowflake, I have to disagree with you, sir, just because she kept changing her story. She kept changing it. First, sir, she came online and she came to her subs and she said, she implicated and she said, he forced me. Then after people kept pressing on her to explain what she was talking about, because she said that, she said, oh, he wanted me to do something that I wasn't comfortable with. And then later on, the story changed again. And she said, as far as the threesome between herself and Natter and Dee Dee, which, by the way, that happened twice. It was so bad that it actually happened twice. She said the only thing that she didn't like about that occasion was seeing Natter and Dee Dee be intimate together. Those were her words, sir. So she made up this claim of SA that was not true, tried to imply that Natter forced her into something, and then she just kept changing her story. If you are someone you've been through DV or SA and you have your truth, the truth is all you need. And the truth does not change based on your mood or if you are angry at somebody or not. So I understand perhaps you weren't around for the Foodieverse and you saw all that stuff. Maybe you've seen bits and pieces. I totally get it. But watching Chantal for a while, and she is such a liar. And her stories about the DV and the SA, they just kept changing. She even said in other live streams that he never SA'd her and he never DV'd her. She said, and I quote, I exaggerated the claims. Her words, sir. I exaggerated. She lied about all of it. She did it for attention. She did it for money. And during that whole time period, she made a lot of money talking about DV and SA due to the fact that there were a lot of people in her audience that they've gone through those things. And so she purposely triggered those people and struck a nerve with those people, those that have actually been through it. And because they've been through it, they felt sympathetic enough that they gave money to Foodie. She made a lot of money talking about DV and SA. It's actually quite disgusting what she did to those people.
Is real and it happened, then she should go to the police, shouldn't she? So why does it feel just ugh when she does? Why does it make me feel uncomfortable when she does go?
All right, I'm at the police station. Vista Police!
Look at her. She just, I'm at the police. It's all about revenge. It's all about revenge and control. Another interesting tidbit that I'd like to throw in here. So everybody's heard about the Cuba rage, right? Something the Foodie said during one of the Cuba rages, because she did several. She said in Cuba that her fantasy, one of her fantasies, was to have Natter go to jail and be there for him when he got out. Because she had also said in another stream that she thought the idea of finding a man who had just gotten out of prison was hot because they were all horned up and would screw anything walking. Like, that's what kind of a predator she is. She looks for desperate men. But she liked the idea of Natter going to jail where he would not be around other women. He'd be away from other women, completely dependent on her. Depending on her. That was her fantasy. That's twisted.
I know why, really. I know why it makes me feel uncomfortable. It's because it is just a game for her.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to tell on me. Well, not if I tell on you first.
Right.
I've never gone to the police station with anybody reporting SA, and I could be wrong. Just speculation. But I imagine they don't go there with such a chirpy, sing-song attitude.
Yeah, like who does that? I've been through this horrible trauma, and I'm going there like almost singing all the way there. What?
On the way to God to know. Going to the PO office right now.
I knew it reminded me of something. I just couldn't think what. It's the same thing as when Amber sings about being essayed as well. Rain and Pels.
She did that?
A pair of them. They're mint, aren't they?
You and Dee Dee better run and catch up with me. All right, I'm at the police station. Salvista Police!
Fraudy does go inside the police station. She does report him. And it's very, very clear this has all just been a stupid point-scoring game for her.
It's more serious than I thought, actually.
It's more serious than I thought. What what did she think was happening? I'm reporting this man for doing all the...
You know, I could almost hear the thoughts in her head as she was driving back. You know what she's thinking? Is the thoughts that were probably going through her mind were probably along the lines of, have I pushed things too far today? Is my punishment going to be him refusing to see me ever again? Like, because her and Natter would engage in this ridiculous game of, you know, don't blink. Playing chicken with each other. Like, who can push each other the furthest before the other one breaks? It was just madness. Absolute madness.
all this horrible stuff to us. It's more serious than I thought. It's more serious than I thought. Not for everybody else, not for everybody watching. I don't think she understands. Her actions have consequences. I don't think she's ever learned that.
They've arrested her. I didn't expect that, honestly. On what charges? Physical or assault or whatever, confinement, and sexual. I have Debbie freaking out, video messaging me, begging me not to do this, saying I should know he has a good heart. She's still at his house. No, she said, you were going to help me. You wanted to help me last week? Fix this. She sounded just like him. They're probably in it together. So he's where he needs to be. Dee Dee, you don't know him. You need to get your ass home.
How frustrating must it have been? Well, I'll ask you. There's plenty of people here who were around at that time. How frustrating was it to watch this in real time?
Sir, to answer your question, it was not only frustrating. Again, it was the darkest period of the Foodieverse. It was so incredibly hard to watch this. It was so triggering for myself and a great many other people. It was just too much. The point where I quit. I couldn't deal with it. You know, this whole thing playing out, it was insane. You got this couple drama going on YouTube. Like all this back and forth stuff that they were doing, it should have been done privately, but they wanted to make sure to monetize it all and involve as many people as possible and affect as many people as possible. And so they did. Like the ping-ponging back and forth was just, it was incredible.
After warning Foodie for ages about this guy, now she's on camera warning Dee Dee about this guy.
Yeah, Chantal.
And she's got
Chantal could not make up her mind about Dee Dee. 1 minute she's over there warning Dee Dee. The next minute she's putting down Dee Dee. The next minute after that, she's on Dee Dee's side. The next minute after that, she's putting on a Sam's Bar Lounge video mocking Dee Dee and what was going on with Dee Dee. She just kept going back and forth with that.
this attitude of, come on, Dee Dee, what are you doing?
If you want me to leave tomorrow, I will. Claire is a good friend, and it breaks my heart to see this all happening. Please, Chantal, fix this, please. Chantal, I'm here in his place tonight. He was crying before cops handcuffed him to go to the station. Please, Chantal, fix this. You know deep down he does not deserve this. So finally I answered her and I said, he physically me and sexually me for 10 months. He deserves this. Goodbye, Debbie. See you later. The investigator asked me about some other women's names I didn't recognize. So there must have been other women, but May Anderson was there.
They asked about other women, including May.
See, this is where I think it's a lie. This whole story is a lie. That detail right there. Oh, they asked me about other women. Red flag on the play. So when it comes to DV or SA cases, why would a police officer or officers bring up names of other victims? They would not. It's all about protecting the privacy of those other victims. Why would they go to Chantal and offer up names? That makes no sense. None.
Mayor's the one who accused Dom, and name's Mayor. So that they asked Fraudy about other women, including her, and now Fraudy's on that list of women who've accused Dom. So no doubt now, Fraudy going to the police about it, May, and other women. After learning all that, now it's definitely over, isn't it?
Do I feel bad thinking about him like crying alone in the cell? Yeah, I do actually.
Here we go, folks.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm having some guilt. I just feel like it's like a lot of pressure. I don't know. And that's the other thing that scares me is like I'm scared like of the whole legal process.
I can't believe her going to the police to accuse him of all this, to make a report, wasn't the end of the off and on nonsense.
See, this is what she wanted to do. She wanted to get all the control. She wanted to exert her control. Put the aces on the table, so to speak. You know, show the upper hand, have the upper hand. She wanted to punish him, but she did not want him banished completely from her world. She just, in essence, wanted to give him a hard spanking to show him who was boss. But she didn't want to push things to the point where she would have no access to him. So they were going back and forth, back and forth. She was getting very frenzied because Dee Dee would not leave, and out of desperation and anger, and because the chat was gassing her up, she pulled a desperate move to intimidate and to threaten. And over the course of time, I've noticed something, y'all, when it comes to Dee Dee and Natter. I'm sorry, Natter and Chantal. They've gone at each other pretty good, verbally speaking, but neither one of them will cross that red line. Neither one of them will burn the bridge completely, just torch the whole thing and walk away. They always maintain a bridge of communication between them. Even now, she's in Kuwait with Salah. They've never stopped communicating because she's never stopped wanting Natter, needing Natter. There's still a part of her brain that thinks I can get him back. He'll be with me someday. She just won't let it go. She still wants to win that game that she lost.
It wasn't the end? How?
No, I don't feel like I was like R-worded. Everything I've...
Boom! I don't feel like I was R-worded, but you did say you were SA'd. Liar.
ever told you guys that's happened to me has happened to me. That's it. I've tried to make it seem less impactful so that I could have a relationship with him, and you
She just said she wants a relationship with him. This person that allegedly essayed her. I'm just going to downplay it because I want a relationship with him. Why would you want to if you're a real victim?
You would accept it?
She would change how serious her accusations were depending on her mood.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
I hope you go to prison. I hope you go. You belong there for everything you've ever. You not even just for what you did to May.
And anytime anybody watching try to hold her accountable for her gross actions, she couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle it.
That is a very serious accusation, and it is something that can really ruin someone's life. And then the reality is bad seed too. Like I end up, falling back in love with him again. And then I don't want, I'm with somebody who did this horrible thing to me. Like, no, you can't. You have to make it look better to be with him, because you can't be with somebody who did that to you.
So basically her whole attitude is, when I'm mad at you, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to destroy your public image and your reputation. But if we're good, I'll put a coat of paint on it and smooth it over for the time being. But if you make me mad again, I'll just blow the whole thing apart. In essence, she's trying to play the puppet master. If you're good to me and I'm good with you, then I won't trash you in front of people. But if I'm angry with you, I am going to trash you. I'm going to use my public forum to trash you.
Right? Whenever I would want to be with him, I would try to twist the truth so that it wouldn't seem so bad. You bring up essay and all these people relate their experiences to you, and then you turn around and invalidate everything that happens. You suck. Well, Misha, you suck too. You're you cannot speak on the situation.
And neither can you, because you're not a real victim. So be quiet.
You have no idea, okay? So I don't owe anything to any SA victims. This is my personal situation. So go yourself, Misha. I'm actually tired of your two-faced anyway. You're a two-faced liar. I owe something to SA victims?
You do, actually. Those of us that have been through DV and SA, you do owe us something. How about an apology, bitch? For faking being a victim of such things, for faking being a victim of that kind of trauma. Start there. For lying about it, for monetizing it. Coming online and talking about it and opening up the scars of other fucking people for the sake of profit. And you did that multiple times. Purposely triggering people and upsetting people, making them think about things they don't want to think about because you want to make a paycheck on YouTube. Fuck you.
This is my personal journey. You suck. You're a bully piece of shit and you suck. Yeah, you do, Misha. You're a fake, two-faced.
You're fake.
Piece. I don't owe SA victims anything. So just because someone was SA'd, I have to automatically be a spokesperson for everybody and not go through my own experience.
Trust me, you're not a spokesperson for anybody, for anything. You're not an advocate for anything. You are desperate to be a victim of anything and everything, trying to make it seem like you've been through some stuff. Because if you've been through some stuff, I guess you feel like that makes you tough by having the extra layers upon you. That makes you interesting. So you're a victim of everything and everybody in life, and everything in life has hurt you. Oh, you're a survivor? No, bitch, you're not a survivor. You're not. You're not. I don't know why anyone would want to claim to be a victim of that. That's horrible. I don't know why you'd want to belong to that kind of pain or lie about it. But this is you we're talking about.
All right, I'm at the police station. Salvista Police! See, that's what I don't like. You blaming me for all other SA victims' experiences. Yourself too. This is what I don't like. Okay? Blaming me for not knowing how to act in a situation, a traumatic situation. You're invalidating my story.
I'm going to say this. I was wondering a while back where Chantal came up with the idea of talking about DV and SA. Usually there's an origin story. There's an origin point with her. Did she see something on TV? Did she see a movie? Did she encounter someone? Where did all this stuff originate from? And then she gave away the information herself. She said she worked or she was a part of or she visited or something a battered women's shelter. The moment she said that, the light bulb went off in my head. So whatever time she spent at the battered women's shelter, she was amongst all of those ladies who had gone through that experience. I'm sure she saw them, maybe heard some of their stories, maybe she talked to them or she heard them talk. And so she remembered things that had been said around her or to her. And she just spun that into a story arc for herself years later. But like I said, writing a story is not the same as somebody having an experience and they write from experience.
But all right, I'm at the police station. Sal Vista Police.
You think it's easy to come on here and say that your boyfriend ass raped you?
Don't do that. Don't come on here.
You know what though, Foodie? If you had been a real victim, you would not have been able to do that. You would not have been able to come online and talk about things like that in front of an audience of thousands of people, because a real victim could not do that. If you've been through any kind of traumatic experience like that, you can't talk about it with strangers. It's hard enough talking about it with one person, because as you're talking about it, inside your mind, you're reliving it, and it can just be too upsetting. But you came online night after night after night for hours and hours and hours and hours, talking about things so easily with no problem, no visceral reaction outside. So again, somebody who's been through that kind of stuff, I'm looking at you funny. You know, the math ain't mathin'.
And trying to shock people into shutting up. Get your story straight as well.
No, I don't feel like I was like R-worded.
I don't feel like that happened to me.
You think it's easy to come on here and say that your boyfriend asked you? He didn't rape me. Fuck off.
I'm tired of people thinking I'm a liar about SA.
I don't know anymore, actually. I said I believed her.
I want some kind of...
You know what, Mr. Snowflake? I will confess this to you, sir. When Chantal started this whole arc, in the very beginning, when she started talking about this, I was honestly concerned. As someone who's been through SA and DV, I was concerned. I was very concerned. I'm like, is this real? Is she being for real? Is this fake? If you've been through DV, you know how dangerous situations like that can get, how quickly they can get there from 0.0 to 0.60. I was afraid for Foodie. I was afraid for her safety. I don't like her, but woman to woman, I was afraid for her. Because situations like that can blow up in your face real fast. But then as time wore on, I just started seeing things, hearing things, and make me go, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't smell right. Something ain't right about this. I mean, just too many things are not adding up. Too many things are not looking normal. Her coming online and talking about it for hours, her provoking him, going over there to see him after saying he does all these things. I mean, none of it was making sense to me.
Revenge, like.
But I don't know now. I don't know. She always uses the phrase, you can't comment because you don't know the situation.
You guys don't know the situation.
You know what?
I know we don't know the situation. It changes daily.
Yeah.
And she's right. She doesn't owe SA victims anything. But I'm guessing they'd appreciate it if she would stop treating it as a big game.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stop treating it as a big game. Stop monetizing it. Stop using it as a sales pitch for her channel to get subs and make money. That would be a great start.
I'm guessing everybody would.
You can play this game. And I'm good at playing games, so...
I know you think it's a game and you think it's funny. Honey, it's not.
I'm guessing everybody would appreciate it if you could grow up a little bit as well.
Dee Dee came and did me a favor. Because you know what? Yes, I probably would have gone back. But Dee Dee did me a favor. Dee Dee did me a favor. Dee Dee did me a favor.
I hope you go to prison. I hope you go to prison.
Even after going to the police. immediately after she'd calmed down, she went running back to him.
Yeah.
I'm so stupid.
Okay, context. We need context. For those that weren't around during this period, here's the context. So Chantal, I forget exactly where she was going, but she was on her way back from New York, driving back to Canada, and she made this big confession about after the allegations were made, after she went to the cops, that she went directly over to his house with Green and with coffee. The supposedly abusive person, she went over there with Green and coffee like it was no big deal.
Because I don't know, I just thought, oh, you just called the cops on him and accused him of sex assault and everything. Oh, yeah, you can just go back over there and just kick Dee Dee out and everything will be normal.
And that was the whole purpose of her going to the cops. She wanted Dee Dee to leave. Did I not say that? I did say that. It was a big chess game. And she was going to use extreme volatile measures to accomplish her goal. Disgusting. Using DV and SA to try to win the game. Fuck you, Foodie.
I went over there. I even brought coffee.
She went over there with coffee and weed right after going to the police. Foodie bad. You know what else she did? This is going to make you laugh.
So I go there and I promise not to tell anybody. But then I turn your phone on and then I leave and then I call you on the phone I pay for.
So not only did she go over there with Green and coffee and expect to be welcomed in and them just to sit down, have a smoke together and drink coffee, but she's paying his doggone phone bill. Really now? So he did these horrible things to you. You're going to go over there with little care packages and you're going to pay his phone. Huh? What? Who in the world does that? A fake phony victim, that's who. A liar. A fraudster.
For you to be able to communicate with your family and you don't answer it. I call him, he doesn't answer the phone.
She turned his phone back on because she thinks this phone, her turning the phone on, gives her some sort of power over him, and it doesn't.
And that's why she paid the phone bill. She wanted the power to turn the phone off when she wanted to, when she was mad at him, and turn it back on when she wanted to. If Nader had his own phone and his own phone line, she couldn't control that. She wanted to control every single aspect of that man that she could. She wanted to control his YouTube channel. She wanted to control the money that he got. She wanted to have influence about how much time he spent alone. All of it. All of it. Even the food that he ate, because she was the one who bought the groceries. He didn't have the money unless, she gave him the money. She was all up in his business, trying to control everything.
But she turned his phone back on. He ignored her. He still ignored her. And he got Dee Dee to message for him.
He gets Debbie to message me. He gets Debbie. The nerve.
Not only is he not answering our calls, but now he's saying, Dee Dee, can you just text her for us? Just say.
You know what? And I will say this. I think this whole thing that went on, the madness of it all. There are two people involved in this. There's Nader and there's Chantal. So we have two adults involved in this situation, the two main characters. Either one could have put a stop to all of this. Either one could have said no more and walked away, and neither one of them did. They kept the drama going. They kept it going. Either one could have walked away, neither one did. Nader stayed with Chantal out of greed, and Chantal held on to Nader because he brought some toxic excitement into her boring life. And she just had this weird fantasy in her mind of, I'm a bad girl and he's a bad boy and it's us against the world. I mean, like, she was just running with that whole trip. It was nuts.
Then leave me alone. Embarrassing to be her.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to properly apologize for going to the police station and just doing the police report to begin with. Like I feel like my intentions weren't clean with it.
No, you weren't. See, she's admitting her intentions weren't clean, meaning she was going to the cops and she was lying about what her claims were. Her intentions weren't clean. That's what she means by that. You lied, bitch.
I shouldn't have done that. I should have gone to the police. The truth is, like, you know how I feel. I really, really love him a lot, and I'm sorry, and I love you, and I want to go to Mount Royal tomorrow and walk up and down the hill.
Every now and again, when researching Fraudy, I'll come across something where I think, okay, that's enough Fraudy for today. I need to go outside and look at the sky.
Right.
Or look at anything that isn't Fraudy beauty.
Oh, the OnlyFans, yeah. I know so many of you have joined the really like naked stuff. I'm going to limit to private DMs. Sexual stuff, I'm going to limit it to putting a teaser on my main page. And then if you want to see it, you need to buy it.
Fraudy beauty started an OnlyFans account. Where did that come from? Apparently she'd started one like a year and a bit ago as well, but I didn't know about that.
Yeah, context on that. So yeah, she had not one but two OnlyFans accounts. The first one, she created her OnlyFans. She advertised her OnlyFans on YouTube, told people about it. I was pumping it up, saying that she's going to have exclusive content there. She was going to do live streams on there, really explicit story times, the whole 9 yards. And a whole bunch of people signed up. They wanted to see that kind of content. I mean, she had a whole lot of people sign up. 2 days after creating the account and advertising the account and a lot of people signing up, she basically told everybody on her channel that she was going to cancel that OnlyFans due to the fact that there were a lot of quote unquote weird people reaching out to her, wanting to see her boobs and wanting to see her fart. Now, keep in mind, these are things she'd done on YouTube for free. But suddenly on OnlyFans, it's weird and it's too much. So she said to everybody, I am going to cancel my OnlyFans. Naturally, a lot of people canceled their memberships. So the money she would have gotten had that OnlyFans been up for about a month, she did not get. Then later on, she created OnlyFans account number 2. And this time, she didn't say 2 or 3 days after the fact, I'm not going to post anything. But in the time that OnlyFans was up, she barely posted anything. As a matter of fact, she reposted stuff there, acting as if she were doing content when she really wasn't, which led to a lot of people complaining on her OnlyFans about the lack of content. They felt ripped off, the whole 9 yards. So she's always making sure to set up things, forums, where she gets paid immediately. And then she strings people along with, I promise I'm going to do content. I promise I'm going to do stuff for you guys. And then she never follows up with it.
So this OnlyFans, why? Joking aside, I know there's plenty of people out there who will find Fraudy's look attractive. I'm not one of them. To me, there's nothing attractive about a woman or anybody who takes such a little interest in their own health that people around them are worried that they're going to drop dead any day now. And that's what's happened with Fraudy in the present timeline. So I don't find that attractive.
Well, I'm alive, barely.
You know, don't look like you're about to swell up and pop. And it's not even just the physical appearance I don't like. It's her.
Yeah, it's her nasty energy. I mean, there's another YouTuber. Her name is Hungry Fat Chick, and she's about foodie size, but she's very unproblematic. She's on her channel. She eats her food. She seems to have a sweet personality. And notice that Girl World, we don't talk about candy. We don't go after Hungry Fat Chick. We have no reason to. You know, she's there to eat her food. She says, this is what it is. This is who I am. So why are we going to talk about her? Chantal is the problematic one who lies. We talk about her, not Candy.
Did I pants? Actually, I don't know if I actually like full blown pants before. So one time I had a yeast infection. Like, I don't know. We were having sex all like for like a week straight or something, and then
Oh, okay. Stop. Please stop. No.
one day.
Okay. Y'all, if you're eating something, if you're drinking something, put it down right now. I'm telling you, put it down. I'm warning you. Put it down.
He put fingers in and pulled out, and he's like, "What is there pizza dough?"
Ew.
I know it's TMI, but that's what yeast infection is.
It's the same with Amber, where you see her trying to do a sexy TikTok, and I think you've shared too much. I know too much about you to ever find.
Right, and that's the definition of a lolcow. Lolcows always overshare. They share too much because they need content. I mean, Chantal was live streaming literally 8 to 12 hours a day. So how do you fill 8 to 12 hours a day with interesting content, like guaranteed interesting content? How do you keep people interested for 8 to 12 hours consistently every single day? You got to share everything about yourself if you don't have anything planned. So the lolcows, they overshare and then they get mad because when they overshare and they give up details, we simply remember of them and we archive them.
Whatever this is, attractive.
If not the whole 2019, where I literally couldn't shower. I lost control of my bowels.
And I pooped my pants.
Sorry, Amber, I'm a not shower shaman and pooping your pants shaman.
And I pooped my pants.
And while she was doing OnlyFans, Fraudy was riddled with STDs. Save the dates.
I don't know why it's in my throat. No, it's probably elsewhere too. I have some other symptoms that TMI, but I have some symptoms that have me a bit worried. Just have me a bit worried, and just Dollar Tree has STD tests for $1.21.
Again. Oh, I nearly threw up in my mouth there. That was real. Again, I don't find women riddled with STDs attractive.
No.
Oh, I think I was a bit sick in my mouth there. Oh no. Anyway, while researching the not the STD stuff, the the OnlyFans stuff, I came across this. I was watching, and I thought that wig looks very similar to Dee Dee's hair.
Yeah.
And then I found this tweet from the king of reactors, Michael B. Petty.
Mr. Michael B. Petty.
God, Foodie Beauty buying a wig to look like Dee Dee in an effort to win back her sugar baby, allegedly, is still one of the funniest arcs to me.
Yeah, talk about creepy.
When it dresses as curly.
Talk about creepy. You're making fun of Dee Dee, but yet you do your best to look like Dee Dee because you want Natter back. The man that you claimed hurt you. You're all kinds of twisted up, Chantal.
Lady friend to win him back. That's... Maybe she could try turning his phone back on for the 40th time. Maybe that would have worked better than dressing.
Yeah, I remember a stream that Chantal did where she mentioned that she turned his phone off so much that after she turned it off and she wanted to turn it back on, she actually had to talk to people from the phone company because the phone company was freaking out. It just looked weird to them that the phone kept getting turned off. They were like questioning her, like, what is going on here? And she had to explain it to them.
Dee Dee. Maybe it was just her just being silly and having fun. I was hoping it was her just being silly because it's just too nuts. And I was hoping that the OnlyFans would be like a nice, silly break away from all the Dom talk. But it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
I cannot believe I did OnlyFans. Oh my god, I did some OnlyFans content with Carly when I was like the other last weekend when we were like Toronto, and I was like so like, and now I'm just like whatever. The second day we met, he poured a heart out to me. Like he like opened up. We just had like a lot of nights like that where it was just like really good sex and really good conversation.
Yeah, why do we need to know all this? This is like couple stuff. Why do you have to tell your audience, Chantal? Oh, that's right, because in order to feel like you're worth something, you have to push onto the audience that you are the most desired woman on earth, that you are the most attractive, and you have the most men chasing you. Got it.
And then, no matter how much he's mean to me or whatever happens between us, I do love him. You guys, you honestly think he doesn't love me?
No.
For real. Be real. I'm pretty drunk right now. Woo! What do you want me to do? You want me to lie about it? Yes, I love him. Is not a bum. He's a good person. What do you mean a May situation? What do I have to do with that? Don't blame that on me. She messaged the next day saying, this is not about your cold rejection of me. So she felt rejected by him. He said he was running away from her. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. And there's no way for me to know because I wasn't there. So therefore, there's no way for you to know because you weren't. That I'm in love with a man who's accused of that. No one I have a wife and kids. No one fucking loves me. He does. You guys know he does. Elle, stop
you know, Chantal, he never loved you. He needed you for your money. He needed you because you provided certain comforts. You fulfilled certain needs that he had. And to be truthful, you never loved Natter. You don't know how to love people, period. You are confusing love with need. When you say that you loved Natter, what you really mean is, I need Natter. I need Natter around to add excitement to my boring life. I need Natter around because without him, I feel very lonely and I'm alone and I don't know what to do with myself. I need Natter around because I'm looking for a male companion and I'm bored of Pete's. I want something new and strange and unfamiliar and exciting in a toxic way. You use the word love to cover up the fact that you are a toxic person. And it's all about you being an energy vampire and finding people to drain of negative energy or energy in general. You use the word love because love seems more gentle. It seems more caring. And caring and gentle are two things you are definitely not.
Recording my stream. Do you not want to hang out here?
Here we go. The big event I always end on. I think this is as big as it gets. Although I keep thinking that, and then
Okay, I think he's about ready to talk about Omegle. I'm just letting you guys know that. And it's the thing where Chantal went on the website with the underage people and Fraudy was just acting all kinds of out of pocket. So warning, I think we're about ready to get into that.
and she keeps surprising me. This is definitely the most confusing end to an episode I've ever done. I still don't get it. I've never been more confused by a person's actions. Lolcow or anybody. I don't get it. I thought she's wearing these outfits that she was wearing when she just did her own.
Yeah, and by the way, about these outfits, for anyone who was not around at that time, please keep this in mind. Chantal was coming on YouTube, and her videos and her lives were not age restricted. She would come on camera barely dressed. We're talking sports bras with underwear on or tight pants, or more often than not, see-through teddies and negligees. And again, not age restricted, because if she age restricted her lives or her videos, she was not going to get paid for them. And she wanted to make sure she'd get paid for them. How you're seeing her right now in this pixelated picture is pretty much how she came on YouTube. I mean, she was showing all her business. Sometimes she would even flash the audience. She would pull up her top and show her tatas, or pull up her dress and show her her punani. Yeah, she did that a lot. And YouTube didn't do a doggone thing about it.
OnlyFans. She'd come on live stream wearing the outfits. And I thought, that's a bit risky. They were a bit revealing. That's a bit risky. Then I found out she was posting links on a YouTube community page, links to her OnlyFans. And I thought, that's risky, isn't it?
Yeah, that's against terms of service.
And then I found out that
Okay, so what you're seeing on the screen right now is this is basically a shot. She's on Omegle. And she had her live stream going. This is not a recorded video. There was another content creator on YouTube. I'm very sorry, I forget the lady's name, but this young lady, she would go on Omegle. She would film people with their consent, with their permission, ask to talk to them, and she would make edited videos. She would not go live just in case something happened, and she would not be live. You know, like just. But Foodie chose to go live because she wanted attention.
Foodie went on this website called Omegle. Most of you'll know what it is. You're on webcam, you get matched with somebody else on webcam, and you can cycle through and chat to people. That's all it is. So Foodie goes on.
And I also heard that Chantal, she was using the filters, trying to find men in the Middle East and also younger men. She had her filters set to certain things.
To this website, live streams it. I don't know anything about YouTube or the internet. I'm rubbish. I don't know anything about it. But even I know that's a risky move.
Yeah, it is.
Hi.
So that was the moment that the young man flashed his private part. That's what she's freaking out about.
Oh my god. He was not. He was Indian, that guy. No, he wasn't a minor. Did he look like a friggin' minor to you?
See? And she's like in her 30s talking about this way about a young person. Did he look like he was underage? You're a creeper, Foodie. You're such a predator. You're disgusting. You're disgusting.
You? There's nothing minor about him.
Ew. Ew, bitch. Ew. You talking that way about a child? Fucking ew. Shame on you.
A minor with a 15-inch wiener.
And she's still talking about it. Still talking about it.
Yeah, right.
The person she's talking about there, who flashed her, to me, looked really, really young. Not just saying it to try and make her look bad. If you've seen it, then, you know. He looked about 14. I mean, I'm getting old now. Anybody under 25 looks about 14 to me now. But he genuinely did look like he was a school kid. I worked in a school, and he looked like a kid I would have taught. First lesson today: keep away from Foodie Beauty. I'd heard when I was doing the research, because people are helping, thank you, that be careful when you get to her speaking about a minor. It's really creepy. And I was thinking, did she speak creepily about a minor, or is that just what is now believed, a rumor that's been believed?
Yeah, she did.
No, she did. It's true. I don't know why I keep doubting. I think it's because these things keep sounding so awful. I'm like, nah, I won't be that. No. It looked like a kid to me, and she was talking about him in a horrible, horrible way.
There's nothing minor about him.
You nasty bitch.
A minor with a 15-inch wiener. Yeah, right.
There's another clip of her asking what again looked like a minor to me, asking him to show Bob's.
Oh, India. Show.
The fact that she's on this website, which is mainly for young people, there she is, older, like talking to these much younger men. It's just gross. It's really gross.
Bobs.
And she wanted to see this young person's bobs. And for those who are wondering, what does she mean by bobs? Well, that's just a way of saying boobs.
I never heard of show Bob's before. Never heard of it. So I had to Google what it means, and Foodie even explained what it means, and it just means show stuff, show boobs, show stuff.
Bobs and vagine. Bobs. They're just boobs, yeah.
I don't know if she was just trying to be funny, asking a minor to do that. I'm guessing she was. Although I don't think she can tell.
Well, Chantal did confess she used to go on Facebook, and a bunch of men would message her and ask her to see her boobs and her vagina, and she would flash people, like she would just give it up for free on Facebook. So maybe she got the term bobs from there, from men from other countries, referring to her boobs as bobs.
When it is a minor, she just sees somebody actual fans, try to warn it and say, stop live streaming this is too dangerous, stop it.
Yeah, it is.
And she just gave a foodie response.
You're gonna get your chicken tail taken down. I can just be like, shut the yeah. Like, what the I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing Omegle. Delete my channel. I'll do what I want. I don't care.
Why was she talking to her actual fans like that?
Because she doesn't care, Mr. Snowflake. It's all about her ego being fed and her addictions being fed. She doesn't care about the people that watch her or watch her videos or watch her live streams. I remember during the Crackhead Olympics era, sir, like she often told people outright, you are all replaceable. If you leave, there will be more Beezers to replace you. I don't care. That's actually how she talked to people. Because at that time, there were so many people watching and so many people signing up that she could lose 10 memberships in one day and get 20 within a matter of 5 minutes. It's not that way anymore. But because of the increased turnover, it made her arrogant, really mean, and really, really nasty.
Taunting your haters like that, fine. But your fans, they're just trying to I don't get it.
I mean, I remember back in the day when she would get in a mood, she would get what we call the nattertude. She would be doing the Coca-Cola all night long, and the next day she's in a nasty mood. Oh, she was nasty. She was so mean to everybody. She would just be in a rage. And she would get on and rage at her own members and people coming in and say, who wants to be blocked? And I sat there one day and watched her block like 60, 70, 80 people all at a time. I mean, her block finger was just flying all over the screen. It was crazy.
How her brain works. She was going to ignore everybody and she was going to do this live streaming people on webcam her way. She was going to do it her creepy way.
Edit his face and show us. I can't.
Okay, so this person, Chris P, what they're posting, this is a quote from Fraudy. And the quote says, I'm not freaking old enough to be his mom, am I? Oh God, that's hot. That is so disgusting. She's disgusting.
You could be his prom date. Oh my God. Old enough to be his mom, am I? Oh God, that's hot.
Ew.
Wait, he did break YouTube. How did I break YouTube terms of service? That wasn't my fault.
Yeah, it was.
It's not a purposeful breach. I think YouTube should take that into consideration, being as I've been on YouTube for 5 years, and make them some money. And although they don't really need my money, but still.
By the way, Chantal, you were saying, oh, YouTube just could take in consideration that it was a mistake and I'm making the money. Yeah, but you doing a live and you're showing a minor's private parts on live. That can be a lot of trouble for YouTube as a company.
She deleted her stream right away in good faith. She didn't know that was going to happen. So, deleted it. It's gone.
She deleted the stream in good faith. It happened and she carried on live streaming. Right, I promise I'm not going to be shocked by stupidity anymore. I had to mess up on that word, didn't I? People warned her over and over.
Yeah,
and
they
her
did.
attitude was, shut up. I'm Foodie Beauty.
So I have to, like, every person I talk to on Omegle, I have to ask if they would be okay with it.
Yeah, because the original creator that you got the idea from, that's how she did things. She went on Omegle She recorded videos, but whenever she talked to someone, she got their consent. She said, hey, are you okay with this? And they would give consent. If they didn't give consent, then she wouldn't film them. But she recorded videos just in case something like what happened to you happened. Because if it happened, it's not being broadcast live in front of people.
Like, as if because the platform has children on it and I accidentally, like, it's automatic rolling. They act like I target children on there. Like,
You kind of do, because you did not age restrict the content. You decided to go on Omegle dressed in your lingerie, bitch. In your lingerie. You weren't even dressed in normal street clothing. You're looking for some kind of sexual response, knowing that the majority of people on there are young people. You disgusting, disgusting beast. What were you planning to do? Were you planning to cyber with somebody?
Accidentally, like, I purposely look for them. That wasn't my fault.
You did, though. You put your filters looking for young men over in the Middle East.
Fault?
Wasn't her fault. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't Pulpy's fault. It wasn't the reaction channel's fault. It was your fault. It's your... Why do you have... It's not that hard. Don't show a child's on your YouTube channel.
Right.
I don't know. I still feel fairly new to being a YouTuber. I still don't know what I'm doing. But I think it's not that hard to not show kids... You know? Maybe I'm wrong.
You don't even know their age. Like, when I would ask them their age and say, I'm 14, bye, see ya. And were we talking sexual with the 14-year-old? So I'm not allowed to, it's against the terms of service to say hi to a 14-year-old on camera? I was aware of that. So I guess everybody who talks to anybody underage on film is a fucking then.
Yeah.
Chantal, you were dressed in a very provocative way. And when you got flashed, you were gawking at the person's private parts and you were talking about it in a very disgusting way afterwards. You're just awful.
It's not against terms of service to speak to a 14-year-old. That's fine. It is against terms of service to show... Oh, yeah. And no, obviously, not everybody who speaks to a 14-year-old is a PDF. But the ones who say, I'm old enough to be his mom, that's hot.
Yeah, that's vile. Vile.
Ones that say there was nothing minor about him. The ones that get warned saying that was a kid's private parts and carry on doing it, those are the people that I wouldn't allow around my kids. So I'm not saying Fraudy is a PDF, but I wouldn't let her around my kids.
No.
Not a chance. There was nothing minor about him. Oh, honestly, he was really young. Ugh. Is this over yet? How long have we got left? Oh, we're nearly there.
I don't care. I'm going to keep doing Omegle. Delete my channel. I'll do what I want. I don't care.
The sheer arrogance to dismiss everybody like that. And it's because of that arrogance that nobody had any sympathy for her when what happened.
Hey.
And there it is.
Guys, hey guys, hey guys, hey.
And they took her freaking channel away.
Hey.
That was a glorious day.
Hey.
Mr. Zachary Michaels, sir.
Oh my goodness, Chantal
Milk tea
got herself thrown off of YouTube.
And another girl has been terminated. That's right, you heard it here last. Foodie Beauty's channel has been terminated for repeated violations on YouTube.
Pulpy.
Yeah. So Chantal's channel got terminated. That's the summary.
Team YouTube, good morning. I just want a bees. I didn't expect that I would be flashed a massive.
Okay, like, so this, as soon as she lost her channel, she was begging and pleading with anybody that would listen to get her channel back. So she says, "Good morning. I just want a bees. I didn't expect that I would be flashed a massive salami on Omegle." The fact that she's calling a child's part a salami is disgusting in itself, but let's keep going. "I will be careful from now on. I did, in good faith, delete my stream as I was horrified." Sure you were, lying bitch. I just want to add this to my appeal. The dong was expected. Just the way she's talking about the underage person is nasty. But she was begging for YouTube to give her channel back.
Of salami.
And look what happened since then, YouTube. You did something that you normally don't do for this YouTuber, and look how she's repaid you.
On Omegle. It was probably a kid's, so calling it a salami, fine. Let's keep going. I will be careful from now on. I did, in good faith, delete my stream as I was horrified. Yeah?
The only reason why she deleted that stream is because people kept urging for her to do so, because they're like, "You're going to get in trouble for this, Chantal. You're going to get in trouble for this." Too late, though. She got in trouble anyway.
You seemed dead horrified at the time.
There's nothing minor about it.
See? Creep. Nasty bitch.
I just want to add this to my appeal. The dong, again, probably a kid's, was unexpected. A real attitude shift from, "I'm foodie beauty, I do what I want." It's a terrible impression. I genuinely just think she doesn't understand consequences.
No.
I think she can only live in the now. She doesn't have the ability to think, "Oh, tomorrow," which is one reason why she's near death's door, knocking on death's door, because she just can't think about tomorrow. She just lives in the now. So there we go. Channel terminated. What do we have on this episode? CPAP. CPAP rescue was insane. Two lolcows YouTubers streaming their fight at the same time. Never seen that before. Don't know if it'll happen in our lifetime again. I could have, if I wanted to. I could have just made this whole episode about Foodie trying to convince us her and Dom were a couple.
He charged me $300 for shrooms once.
You're an idiot. He charged you $300 and you got $300 because you're just that dumb.
For a gram. So I guess him saying we're not a couple means that we weren't. I don't think so.
I could have added so many more clips to show how Foodie hated DD.
Oh, whatever. She still looks nasty. She still looks dirty anyways. Are you kidding? She looked greasy as that thumbnail.
Or I could have shown more examples of Foodie trying to blackmail Dom with that bloody phone.
Cancel the number again.
Or I could have just shown more clips of Foodie deluding herself.
So he deleted his own video and probably blamed it on me because he wants to try to get back at me somehow. I feel like he is in love with me, and you can't deny it. Tell him to look in the screen. Deny. He's not in love with me.
Her dressing as Dee Dee might be the maddest thing I've ever seen. It's right up there. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Going on that webcam site to live stream stuff is nuts as well. Right on. By definition, does that make her a PDF if she's enjoying? Oh God.
I think she's a straight up creep, Mr. Snowflake. Like this. It makes you wonder, sir. Like with the thoughts that she has, the things that she's done. You look at the people that Chantal has been around, like Karate Joe. Everybody knows what he did. The fact that there's Pete's that wrote great fiction. You got Natter, that he's a bit of a degenerate. And then you've got Salah with his proclivities. It makes you wonder how she's coming across all these people that they all seem to have a darker side to them.
God, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Pulpy, you can have that one. You can tackle that one. Maybe we will in the next episode. Oh, there's no next episode, is there? Channel terminated. That's it. End of the series. Thanks for watching. We all got through it together. Group hug. Well done, everybody. I'll see you in a different series because this one is obviously over now that the channel's been terminated. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
No, there isn't. The channel did not get terminated. It was over. Like it kept going. I'm sure there'll be more episodes, but thank you for the documentary, Mr. Snowflake. Really enjoyed it. It was really well put together. This is one of the darker episodes, but how can you cover Foodie without talking about this stuff? Because all this stuff happened. It absolutely happened. And I wanted to react to this with y'all. And I'm sorry if I got a bit spicy here and there, but just triggers the crap out of me. Especially about her lying about certain things. That really just makes me so angry. So I hope you guys enjoyed this react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.